the back of my mind for quite a while, the whole climate change debate. So I've always felt very strongly about it, and I've been watching very carefully what others have been doing. And for me, the urgency and the positivity.
Scandal erupts within royal circles as an unthinkable discovery sends shockwaves across the world. Camilla's grandson now faces serious criminal charges after police uncovered a mysterious second tiara believed to belong to Princess Diana, hidden inside a car trunk. Questions are spiraling, secrets are unraveling, and the implications could shake the monarchy to its core. How did such a priceless and symbolic piece end up there? And what does this shocking revelation expose about long-buried royal mysteries no one was ever meant to uncover until now? Princess Diana's legacy unearthed. March 1st, 2026. London feels different that night, colder than usual, as if the air itself is holding its breath. A thin fog stretches across a quiet suburban road, swallowing sound and muting movement, making everything seem distant and unreal. Through that silence, a sleek black Mercedes moves steadily, its engine low and controlled. Inside, the driver, Marcus Hale, keeps both hands tight on the wheel. He has done this route before. Nothing unusual, nothing risky, just another job. Or at least, that is what he keeps telling himself. Then it happens. A sudden flash breaks through the fog, blue and red lights flickering behind him. The sharp cry of a siren cuts through the stillness, short but enough to send a shock through his chest. Marcus freezes for a moment, then instinct takes over. He slows down, pulls aside, and stops. Yet something feels wrong. His breathing becomes uneven, his fingers tightening until his knuckles pale. He knows he broke no rules. So why does it feel like he has already been caught? Two officers step out, calm but precise, flashlights slicing the mist. One approaches, expression unreadable. "License and registration," he says. Marcus hands them over, forcing calm, mumbling about a delivery job. The officer does not respond. Instead, he studies him closely. The second officer checks the details in the patrol car. Silence stretches again, longer than expected. Then a glance, a nod, a silent signal. The mood shifts. "This vehicle matches a description," the officer states. "Step out and open the trunk." Marcus hesitates just briefly, but enough. Sweat forms despite the cold. His hands tremble as he walks back. The trunk clicks open. Inside are boxes and an old suitcase. Nothing remarkable, except for one object. A deep red velvet box sits alone, too clean, too deliberate. An officer lifts it, giving a light shake. Nothing moves. The lead officer steps closer. "Open it," he says. Marcus does not move. The command comes again, sharper. Slowly, the box is opened. The lid lifts. Inside, there is nothing. No jewels, no crown, only smooth white velvet. At the bottom, in gold thread, a line appears, the tiara of Princess Diana. Silence falls. The words carry weight. One officer exhales, surprised, but the other understands. This is not about a missing item. It is a message. Diana represents memory, emotion, and legacy. Anything tied to her cannot appear randomly. It was placed, planned, meant to be found. The officer steps back, calling it in quietly. The situation escalates. What began as routine now reaches a higher authority. Marcus is pulled aside, his protests desperate. He insists he was hired, knew nothing. But attention shifts away from him. Focus centers on the box, the name, and its meaning. Within minutes, orders are issued, calls placed. The discovery moves rapidly upward, crossing into spaces beyond ordinary policing, where consequences are no longer predictable. And as the chain of command tightens, one question quietly forms among those present. Who wanted this found? And what happens when it reaches the people it was truly meant for? The answer does not stay at the roadside. It travels quickly, moving through secured channels, past desks and guarded offices. Names are mentioned in hushed tones, files quietly reopened, old connections reconsidered. Because anything linked to Diana carries history, and history has a way of unsettling the present. Those receiving the report recognize the risk immediately. This is no longer a simple investigation. It edges towards something sensitive, something that could reopen questions many believed were long buried. Meanwhile, Marcus sits in silence, watched closely, his earlier confidence gone. Every passing minute deepens the tension as the significance of that single-stitched sentence continues to grow. And somewhere beyond that dark road, decisions begin forming, quiet but powerful, shaping what comes next. Because when a message like this is sent, it is never without purpose. It is meant to reach someone, to trigger a reaction, to force attention where it cannot be ignored. And soon, that reaction will begin unfolding. And somewhere far from that cold roadside, inside walls guarded by silence and history, the report begins its journey upward. It all begins to point in one direction, toward a single man, the future king. Because anything tied to Princess Diana never stays buried for long. It resurfaces. It demands to be seen. And the moment it lands in Prince William's hands, nothing remains the same. But what did he do? That left everyone shaken to their core. Stay tuned. V equals ICCS-XEUCS4. Inside Kensington Palace, the night carried an unusual weight. The clock crept toward 2 in the morning, the silence thick and heavy, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. In his private study, Prince William was alone, surrounded by stacks of documents, his focus intense. But the quiet would soon be shattered. The phone rang. The tone alone was urgent. On the other end, a security officer struggled to keep his voice steady. A vehicle had been stopped on a routine patrol, but what was discovered inside the trunk turned the situation into a matter of immediate concern. A deep red velvet box was found, clearly labeled as belonging to Princess Diana. But when opened, it was empty. The news landed like a weight. William said nothing for a moment, letting the silence stretch long enough to feel dangerous. His hand gripped the phone tighter, knuckles pale as he finally spoke with controlled sharpness. "Preserve everything. Detain the driver. I'm coming." The line went dead. The sense of urgency shifted something inside him. This was not a random act, not a simple coincidence. It felt deliberate, personal, an intrusion into a space that should have remained untouchable. Within minutes, he moved through the palace corridors, his pace urgent but measured. Lights flickered on as he passed, guiding him toward the vault, the most secure part of the palace. Outside, London slept, oblivious to the disruption within royal walls. By early morning, Kensington Palace was no longer quiet. Senior security officers were summoned. Specialists arrived without delay. Panic was forbidden. The only instruction from William was simple and commanding: check everything. The vault itself, buried under reinforced layers and accessible only via dual biometric verification, demanded patience and precision to enter. When the doors finally unlocked, the room appeared untouched. Still, perfect. Behind thick, bulletproof glass rested the tiara. At first glance, it seemed flawless, resting in peace under controlled light, untouched, exactly as it should. But William did not move closer immediately. He observed from a distance, arms folded, sensing something was off. The inspection intensified. Advanced scanners mapped every facet. Experts examined the tiara's structure, deploying microscopes, lasers, and sound-based technology to detect imperfections invisible to the human eye. The room's silence grew heavy, oppressive, each passing minute stretching longer than the last. After nearly 2 hours, the head appraiser, a veteran of decades serving the royal family, stepped forward. His expression spoke before words did. "Your Highness, this is not the original." The revelation struck like a shockwave. The diamonds were flawless, too perfect. Cut with modern techniques, not the painstaking craftsmanship of decades past. The weight and structure were close enough to deceive an untrained eye, but the tiara was a perfect forgery. William absorbed the news silently, nodding once. The atmosphere in the room turned colder, denser. Questions followed immediately. Who had access? A list of 17 names emerged. Staff, security personnel, and members of the inner circle. Each name represented trust, proximity, and opportunity. This was no accident. The act required careful planning, precision, and intimate knowledge of the palace's routines and surveillance. Whoever orchestrated this did not break in, they walked in. William's voice, quiet but resolute, reflected the gravity. This was not theft. It was a calculated message, delivered just as attention was poised to return to his mother's memory. The timing was deliberate. the implications unmistakable. Orders followed at once. Every frame of security footage from recent months would be reviewed. Every shadow, every small anomaly, every moment of irregularity is examined. Meanwhile, the driver of the vehicle remained in custody, but it was clear he was a single piece of a far larger puzzle. Alone for a brief moment, William stepped closer to the glass case, his hand resting lightly against its cold surface. The tiara inside appeared real, flawless even. But he knew better. It was a replica, meticulously crafted. And the question remained, heavy in the air. If something so precious could be faked and placed without detection, who engineered it and why? The palace had been breached not in force, but in subtlety. And the real story, the identity of the person behind the deception and the message it carried, was only beginning to unfold. And that was the most chilling part of all. If something so priceless could be swapped without anyone noticing, how long had this deception been quietly unfolding? And the pressing question remains, how was Diana's tiara faked? And who is orchestrating this scheme? The truth behind it is about to come to light, and every shocking detail will be revealed. The Tiara Conspiracy. Early 2026. London feels colder than usual. The streets unusually still, almost as if the city itself senses the storm brewing within the royal family. With Prince William's coronation looming less than a month away, the world sees calm, regal poise. Public appearances, carefully orchestrated smiles, and polished ceremonies all suggest a monarchy steady and unshakable. But behind Buckingham Palace's ornate walls, tension coils like a serpent waiting to strike. Early 2026. London feels colder than usual. The streets, unusually still, almost as if the city itself senses the storm brewing within the royal family. With Prince William's coronation looming less than a month away, the world sees calm, regal poise. Public appearances, carefully orchestrated smiles, and polished ceremonies all suggest a monarchy steady and unshakable. But behind Buckingham Palace's ornate walls, tension coils like a serpent waiting to strike. Camilla feels it every morning. Every headline she reads, every social media post, cuts a little deeper. To the world, Diana still reigns, not in crown or title, but in memory, in the hearts of millions. Camilla is the replacement, the consort, yet public opinion offers no mercy, reminding her with each article and whispered comment that the shadow of Princess Diana is far from fading. Each smile in public, each handshake at a charity event, becomes an act of performance. But behind the closed doors of her private chambers, the facade crumbles. Alone, she sits before her. Vanity, a glass of red wine in hand, eyes tracing her own reflection. She whispers into the silence, "I have waited too long. I have endured enough. Why does her shadow still loom larger than me?" And in that silence, a dark thought begins to form. A plan, risky and dangerous, born from fear and envy. Diana's tiara is more than jewelry. It is a symbol, a memory, a legacy that refuses to be erased. If it were gone, vanished, destroyed, or replaced, the coronation could finally belong to Camilla without comparison, without whispers of the woman who came before her. No more articles of comparison, no more public reminders, just her, ascending the throne unchallenged, her authority unquestioned. But this time, she does not act alone. The call, the conspiracy, involves not her sister or a trusted aide, but someone much closer to her bloodline, her grandson. His name is whispered cautiously in palace corridors, a suspect in a scheme that, if true, could shake the monarchy. The plan is whispered across secure lines, shared in cryptic messages and coded instructions. Camilla urges discretion. The coronation cannot be endangered by careless mistakes. The plot, meticulously constructed over months, is precise in every detail. A replica of the tiara is crafted abroad by a master jeweler, exact in every contour, every gem. The real tiara is to be removed, transported through a chain of intermediaries, and ultimately destroyed before the coronation, leaving only the flawless replica in its place. Every step is calculated, internal codes purchased, vault layouts studied, blind spots mapped. The operation is scheduled to take place in the dead of night, under conditions that promise speed and secrecy. But even the most careful plans have vulnerabilities. Hours later, a routine traffic stop on the A40 changes everything. Marcus Hale, the final courier in the chain, drives the tiara toward its fate. The car is pulled over, a minor theft investigation seemingly coincidental. Inside the trunk, The genuine tiara sits quietly, untouched, unbroken, its intended destruction delayed by nothing more than chance. A plan that had seemed flawless now teeters on the edge of disaster. Camilla, in her chambers, dreams of a coronation free of Diana's shadow, unaware that her carefully plotted scheme is already unraveling. One ordinary police check has threatened to expose a conspiracy months in the making. And now, suspicion begins to form around her grandson, the quiet, seemingly unassuming heir in her family line. Could he have played a role, or is he merely a pawn, unknowingly entangled in something far greater than himself? The tiara lies silently in the trunk, a glittering prize at the center of a web of deception. The chain of events is just starting to tighten, and with every passing hour, the investigation edges closer to shocking revelations. Secrets long buried are on the verge of surfacing, and no detail, no whisper of betrayal, will escape scrutiny. The Royal Tiara. Investigation. Hammersmith Police Station, Interview Room 3, was bathed in harsh, cold neon light that reflected off the polished metal table. The clock on the wall ticked relentlessly. 15 minutes and 58 seconds had passed since Marcus Hale had been seated, hands cuffed, sweat dampening his brow despite the heater's full blast. Across from him, Detective Chief Inspector Elena Vasquez, sharp-eyed and unyielding, observed every twitch, every hesitation. Beside her, Royal Protection Officer Major James Harland remained silent, meticulously recording every word. Elena's fingers tapped the table lightly, her voice calm but uncompromising. "Mr. Hale, we've traced a £50,000 transfer from an offshore Cayman account just 2 days ago. Explain, or we keep digging." Marcus swallowed hard, eyes flicking nervously around the room. He tried to sound steady. "I'm just the driver. I was told to transport an item from London to Birmingham, a velvet box containing personal jewelry. I didn't open it. I just followed instructions. The money was already in my account." Elena's gaze sharpened. Whose voice was on the phone? Marcus hesitated. A woman, older British accent, didn't give a name. She said, "Do it right, and there's another 20,000 when you deliver." Major Harland raised a hand, stopping Elena. He pulled out his phone, playing the recording of Marcus's last call. The number was traced to a false identity, but its last activation was in the Kensington area near the palace. Elena nodded. "Marcus, call it back. Tell them you're being followed and change the drop-off point immediately." Trembling, Marcus took the phone. Harland dialed and placed it on speaker. 3 rings, then a cold male voice. "Hello." Marcus stammered the message, panic evident. "I'm being followed. Can't go to Birmingham. New location. Abandoned warehouse, North London outskirts. A406, 2 a.m. tomorrow." Silence stretched. The man replied curtly, "Fine, don't mess it up." The call ended. Elena nodded at Harland. "We set a trap. Mr. Hale, you stay here." Meanwhile, at Kensington Palace, Camilla's grandson was in the security briefing room, eyes fixed on 3 months of vault camera footage. Technicians scrubbed through frame by frame. A young engineer spoke up. "Sir, we found an anomaly. The southeast corner camera was obscured the night before the tiara went missing. 8 minutes exactly. No alarms triggered, no external breach." He realized immediately. Someone knew the blind spot. Someone with inside access. The security chief was ordered to compile a list of everyone with camera access in the past 6 months, cross-check finances, contacts, and backgrounds. Nothing could be overlooked. Coordination with police was underway to intercept the woman at the rendezvous. As he stared out over the fog-shrouded palace gardens, his fury simmered, not at power being challenged, but at betrayal from within his own circle. "This isn't just a theft," he said quietly, voice low but resolute. "It's a calculated use of my grandmother's legacy for personal gain. The person behind this will face no leniency." The room fell silent. The storm of investigation had officially begun. That night, at 12:45 a.m., Camilla grandson's phone vibrated in the pitch-dark bedroom of her Gloucester home. Marcus's panicked voice delivered the new instructions. "Abandoned warehouse, North London, 2 a.m. tomorrow." He confirmed and rushed to Camilla's room, bloodshot eyes and a calm, cold tone. "We have to retrieve the tiara, erase everything, leave no trace." Together they wiped emails, call logs, offshore transfer records, and security footage, leaving no connection to themselves. At 1:30 a.m., he drove into the dark, deserted motorway, unaware of at least 3 unmarked cars tailing her, every mile monitored by royal security. Inside, his hands gripped the wheel. Thoughts flickered to Camilla, her years of scrutiny and criticism, and the woman who endured being labeled the other. He murmured softly, "She deserves peace. Just get through tonight and everything will change." But what no one could have imagined was just how deep this betrayal ran, and what shocking consequences awaited the culprit. How far did the deception stretch, and who truly pays the price for royal treachery? Stay with us as we uncover the full story and reveal the twists that no one saw coming, and whose hands were truly behind the scheme. The stage was set, and the trap was about to snap. The arrest of Camilla's grandson. Over Diana's tiara. At 1:50 a.m., Camilla's grandson arrived at the abandoned warehouse on the northern outskirts, the air thick with cold and silence. The building stood dark, broken, only by flickering street lamps. He killed the engine, stepped out, and carried a heavy black bag containing tools meant to recover and destroy the real Tiara. A bitter wind swept through the empty lot, carrying the musty scent of old concrete. He called softly, "Marcus," but only his voice echoed back. Heart hammering, he took a few cautious steps forward. "Where are you?" Suddenly, headlights blazed from every direction. A loudspeaker crackled, commanding, "Stand still! Police! Do not move!" The black bag slipped from his hands with a metallic clink. He froze as officers emerged, weapons trained. Major Harland stepped forward, voice icy. "Camilla's grandson, you are under arrest on suspicion of conspiracy to swap and misappropriate royal property. Anything you say may be used as evidence." He did not resist. Eyes fixed on the bag where Diana's tiara lay, glinting under the lights like an accusation. The plan had collapsed. Years of secrecy and careful orchestration unraveled in seconds. The weight of what he had done pressed fully upon him. By 2 a.m., the warehouse was lit as if daytime. Police headlights and short siren bursts sliced through the night. Camilla's grandson stood encircled, hands limp, powerless against the magnitude of the operation. Every step he had taken, every command he had followed, led him here. The faint metallic clink of the tiara echoed like proof of the deception. Major Harland's voice cut through the tension. "You are under arrest for conspiracy to swap and misappropriate property belonging to the crown. You have the right to remain silent, but anything you say may be used in evidence against you." He lowered his head, eyes locked on the bag, not from fear, but from knowledge of the betrayal he had become part of. He whispered, "I only wanted to protect her." Officers cuffed him and led him toward the waiting police van. The black bag was sealed, Diana's tiara. Inside, untouched, intact, irrefutable evidence. The conspiracy was exposed. At the same time, Kensington Palace was alive with movement. Tactical teams approached Camilla's quarters. She sat by the window, an empty wine glass in hand, staring into the gardens. The lead officer entered formally. "Your Majesty, you are being placed under arrest for complicity in the conspiracy to swap royal property. Please come with us." Camilla did not flinch. She set down the glass, rose slowly, face composed yet betrayed by the swiftness of exposure. "I didn't expect this to happen so fast," she murmured. She walked out, head held high, royal protection officers following silently. By morning, Buckingham Palace convened an emergency meeting. William sat at the head of the table, face stern, eyes red from exhaustion. Senior family members, legal advisors, and security chiefs awaited his words. "We cannot cover this up. The truth must be told," he said. "Camilla and her grandson have betrayed our trust, and my mother's legacy. They will face full legal accountability." Camilla was stripped of all royal titles, ranks, and privileges, and was removed permanently from the inner circle. Her grandson faced criminal prosecution on multiple charges: conspiracy to misappropriate royal property, forgery, and abuse of privileged access. The network of intermediaries, from Swiss jewelers to the break-in team, was dismantled, and 7 additional arrests were executed. Diana's tiara was returned to the vault under strict security. The glass case reopened. The tiara replaced exactly where it belonged. Soft light reflected off the diamonds, silent witnesses to legacy, loyalty, and betrayal. William's hand rested lightly on the glass. "Mother," he whispered. The news spread quickly. The public, outraged yet relieved, respected the decision to uphold truth over secrecy. William made a brief statement. "The royal family acknowledges mistakes, but will protect legacy and honor. ensuring Diana's memory remains untouched. And now, the question lingers. What truly lies behind all this royal treasure? Beyond glittering jewels and priceless heirlooms, what makes some of these treasures worth more than fortunes? Could there be secrets hidden within, waiting to be uncovered? Keep watching as we peel back the layers of opulence, betrayal, and intrigue, and reveal the hidden stories that turn simple wealth into a priceless legacy. The true worth of royal jewels. Royal jewels are far more than extravagant accessories. They are powerful symbols of history, tradition, and national identity. Each gem, each tiara, each crown tells a story that stretches back centuries. They carry the weight of dynasties, marking moments of triumph, mourning, and continuity. When a royal jewel is stolen or tampered with, it is not just a financial loss. It is a wound to a nation's heritage, a disruption of the symbolic continuity that binds the monarchy to its people. The tiaras, necklaces, and crowns within the royal collection are meticulously crafted. Many pieces date back hundreds of years, their designs reflecting the era in which they were made. Some were gifts from foreign monarchs or dignitaries, symbolizing alliances and diplomacy. Others were commissioned to celebrate coronations, weddings, or significant events within the royal family. Each piece carries unique cultural significance and historical context. The diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emeralds are carefully mounted to preserve their original artistry. Even the most minute alterations or forgeries can erase centuries of craftsmanship and meaning. Beyond their artistry, royal jewels function as emblems of continuity. They are displayed at coronations, state ceremonies, and official portraits to reinforce the authority and stability of the monarchy. A tiara worn by a princess during a pivotal public appearance is not just jewelry. It becomes a symbol of the role she embodies, linking past, present, and future generations. The jewels are also visual anchors for collective memory. Citizens recognize them instantly, associating them with national pride, family heritage, and ceremonial significance. Security measures surrounding these treasures reflect their importance. Vaults, biometric systems, and surveillance are not implemented merely to protect material wealth. They exist to safeguard history and tradition. Unauthorized access, theft, or forgery of these items is treated as a serious offense precisely because of the symbolic and cultural weight the objects carry. Even minor breaches can raise questions about the integrity of the monarchy and the nation's ability to preserve its heritage. The financial value of royal jewels, while enormous, is secondary to their symbolic power. While some pieces could fetch millions at auction, that market price cannot capture the centuries of legacy they represent. Their significance is emotional, political, and historical, making them irreplaceable artifacts of national identity. Attempting to sell or replace such items reduces them to commodities, stripping away their heritage and the public trust intertwined with their protection. When royal jewels are threatened, the stakes extend far beyond money. They represent continuity, identity, and collective memory. Protecting them is an act of safeguarding history itself, ensuring that future generations inherit not just sparkling gems, but the stories, traditions, and symbolism embedded within each priceless piece. Every crown, tiara, or necklace is a testament to the monarchy's enduring presence and the nation's shared past. Their theft or misuse is a profound violation, far deeper than financial loss, touching on loyalty, legacy, and the soul of a nation. So, what's your take on how this case has been handled so far? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.